The party damage output will be around 2 billion damage a second. 2 billion DPS. Salutations, Descendants! As we know, Nell is appearing in the first Descendant quite soon. I thought I would take this opportunity to take Nell and make the best weapon for her. This is, of course, the Perferator. Sorry for the terrible writing. My parents said I should have been a doctor. I'll be making a Perferator build specifically for Nell. And of course, I'll be making a Perferator build for everyone else. Absolutely slaps with Glay, I will tell you that much right now. And of course, Serena, but everything slaps with Serena. So we'll go into the Perferator's base stats. We have a firearm attack of 67,000, fire rate of 100, rounds per magazine of 6. I know this sounds really low, but it's really not that important because everything's going to die before you reload. A reload time of 1.6 seconds, 20% crit rate, a crit damage multiplier of 2, and a weak point damage of 5.5. It is important to note that with weak point damage, it maxes out at 10, so if you go over this, you're just wasting points. This would bring us to a max weak point damage increase of 82%. So the goal is to get to 82% weak point damage. However, there's something that we should make note of. Her fourth ability, Gaze of the Abyss, is going to give us 35% of our weak point damage increase. It's got a 14-second duration and 110-second cooldown, so of course we can make it active all the time whenever we get to Nell and build Nell. So 35% off the bat increase subtracted from our 82. Now we're at 47% increase. The unique ability Detect is whenever you hit an enemy with the Perferator, it spawns a meteorite. The meteorite causes a scanner, which activates Detect. Detect will give us 10% of our increase in weak point damage. And this build right here will essentially maximize our damage output. Payout is going to be an absolutely necessary module for damage throughput because your magazine is only 6 bullets or 6 rounds. Due to the Detect, this brings our 47% requirement down to a 37% requirement. We can either have aiming and subtract 20% of our accuracy, which accuracy doesn't really matter because you're going to be hitting all of your hits as weak point with Nell regardless, because every hit will count as a weak point. Screw accuracy, aim for the feet. So have aiming is fine. You will not need a weak point damage on the roll of the gun either. And here you have several options. You have magazine size, which will increase the amount of damage throughput that you have whenever a payout expires, which is my personal preference, or you can take a small amount of crit rate, getting you that extra couple percentages that you'll need for more crits. Now, if you're going to be a Glay and you just want to spam the Perferator, I highly recommend this loadout, Mental Focus, and have aiming with weak point sight. You're not getting the extra 35% with Nell unless you have a Nell in the fire team, of course. This does about 25 million damage a shot. And this one is the Serena build. It does around 40 million damage a shot, counting her extra damage tick from her last ability. If the next iteration is going to have Nell, 2 Serenas, and an Enzo or a Luna to give 100% crit rate, the party damage output will be around 2 billion damage a second. 2 billion DPS for party damage output is insane. And for one, I look forward to it. So if you've just fast forward to this part of the build and you don't really care about the rest of the video, this is going to be the build for Serena without a Nell in the party. This is going to be the build for Nell. And then this is a build for Glay without a Nell in the party. Unfortunately for me, I ran out of materials while I was testing the rolls, but you will for sure want crit hit damage. You will for sure want crit rate, and you will for sure want firearm attack. This is going to vary between weak point damage if you have no Nell in the party, because if you do have a Nell in the party, you're going to overclock your weak point damage, and it'll be a wasted roll. Colossus damage, if you're trying to boss with a Perferator, which will be completely viable, Because the attribute statics effect rate is 20% on the Perferator, chill attack will be viable as well, but I plan to put and leave on Colossus attack because I'm not making 3 Perferators. I'll need another Perferator for Haley because of her changes coming to the Season 3 of the first Descendant, most likely. Regardless of who and how this gun gets used, the firearm critical hit damage is the way to go, and 3 fire rates are the way to go. The fire rate of the Perferator is at 100, so you can max out fire rate on the Perferator and not suffer any ill effects. If you're a speedrunner, this is going to be like useful for you, I guess, but otherwise, meh. And then, of course, you want 2 pieces of Shell Crusher on deck. Somehow I have deleted my processor. I am sad. Anyway, of course, that is the Perferator. I do not believe there's going to be too many better weapons than the Perferator coming into Season 3. Maybe the new guns, but we won't know what those are yet. If y'all have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. I do a lot of stuff on Twitch. If you're interested, check out the link in the description. That's my Twitch channel. I only play this game online. Tell me what you're excited for. Y'all have a sick day. Peace out.